Hi, I'm Elizabeth at the Radford Public Library with a book recommendation for you. And that recommendation is for this book titled The Girl with the Louding Voice. It's a novel written by Abidari, and it is such a beautifully written book. I'm so glad I read it. It's really tough in many ways, but it's also incredibly inspirational. And a little bit about this author. Abidari grew up in Nigeria, in Lagos, and this has, even though it's her first novel, it has become a New York Times best-selling novel. And this author initially studied law, and she also got an MA in creative writing. She writes this story in first person, and you meet this wonderful 14-year-old child who is older and wiser beyond her years, and her name is Adunni. And Adunni lives in Nigeria. She is in a poor family. Her mother has recently died. She has brothers. Her father is less than motivated, and he sells her to a man who is looking for a third wife. And so Adunni at 14 becomes married to a much older man, and it's certainly a tough read in these parts because she's so young and so innocent, and she becomes basically a child bride. But she does, spoiler alert, get out of that situation and move on to a different situation, which is becoming a housemaid for a very wealthy couple. So this is a story of Adunni, who is incredibly resilient and so bright, and she wants a louding voice in that she wants to be able to choose her own life the way that she wants to live it rather than the way that it has been forced upon her. And she's constantly fighting to get that education that she wants and live the life that she chooses. She loves Nigeria. She wants to help other people, other girls like her, have a better future. And in watching some YouTube videos with this author, I learned a lot from her about how she grew up and how she did observe and witness young girls working as maids in Lagos, where the author is from. And in an interview, she mentions being inspired to write this novel, her first book, when one of her daughters kind of balks at the chore of emptying the dishwasher. And I can only imagine how that conversation went from there, but it certainly inspired a beautiful book. Adunni's voice, it's not really pidgin English, but it's not standard English. It's very broken. It's also quite poetic and rich in her perspective, the way she has of describing things. I listened to this rather than read the print book, and listening to it is amazing because it is read by a narrator who is from Nigeria, and her accent is beautiful, and her ability to do a variety of characters and their voices is astonishing. So I love listening to it. I highly recommend reading this. Even though it's difficult, it's also a lot about the power of kindness and in finding joy and in being resilient and in choosing your own life. And this 14-year-old girl, this character, Adunni, is really marvelous and not a character that I will soon be able to forget. She's quite profound and very impressive. So again, the story is The Girl with a Louding Voice, and it's written by Abidari, and we do have this at the Radford Public Library. Thanks so much for listening. Take care.